Hello and welcome. I'm Chris Ryan.
And now Maya Sanchez. This is All Access Sports, your source for local sports.
And this is a very special show.
Like you say, this is a huge show.
Maybe the most special, because guess what? Maya's last show, out of nowhere, life is taking us different directions. We're not running away together. We're just leaving. But yeah, my 75th episode. Maya's been here for a while now.
Congrats on your 75th.
Thank you. It feels good to close out with a nice number like that. It's not an even number, but it's a nice number. People celebrate 75. Yeah, not 75 years, 75 episodes. I'll take that. I'm not that old
Only 25
quite yet.
years. Only, one-third of that. So.
But yeah, maybe we'll get a little more sentimental as the show goes on. Well, let's start out with some volleyball. We headed out to Waverly High School last Wednesday for volleyball's last regular season game. Hazlitt traveled to Waverly in hopes of ending their season on a high note. Hazlitt's Jordan Valley with the jump serve. The Warriors try to return it, but they free it over the net. Hazlitt uses it. They set outside. Lily Metcalf swings, but it's recovered, and Waverly gives another free ball over the net. A backward set gives it to Sarah Schmid, and she kills it. After that play, Hazlitt takes off with serving. Jordan Valley with the ace, and here's her sister Lane Valley with the ace on the Warriors. Hazlitt takes this one 3-0, and Coach Drew Dudley says her team's serving could take them far.
We've got 3 servers right now that are in the stat leaders for the area, which is a huge addition to our team. You know, being able to serve tough is what held us tonight. We were down in several points in this game tonight, and we're able to come back because of our serving and our difficulty with serving.
This week is volleyball's district playoffs, and Hazlitt has a bye week to start off, and then they will face one of the top teams in the area, Lansing Catholic, later in the week.
And after a successful first 2 rounds of the CAAC Blue Tournament, the Okemos volleyball headed to Holt for a chance at the league title. Big chance right there. The Rams had so far gone without a set loss in the conference tournament, and the last time these 2 teams met back on September 20th, so in the beginning of the season, Holt swept Okemos in the 3-0 regular season victory. But last Tuesday looked a lot like the regular season one at first. Okemos put up a fight, but let the first few points get away from them, just couldn't catch up. And the Rams were up 2 games, and the third could be a decisive one. So with a chance to tie at 24, Chief Sage Van Alstyne taps it over to try to trick the Rams, but they receive it. Rams Sydney style spikes get blocked by Nishu Patel, and this time Ryan Castle puts it away in front of the blockers. Natalie Thome on the serve right here. Holt receives it, but a double set by Allie Peterson gives the Chiefs set 3 and force a 4th one.
I feel really proud of the girls. There was no quit in them. And in the 3rd set, we could have quit, and we fought back hard to beat them 26-24.
The 4th set would be final. Holt Sydney style spikes it in the center. Chiefs Catherine Irwin receives it a little too hard, and the ball goes out. The Rams are the CAAC Blue League champions with the 3-1 victory over the Chiefs. The Rams receive the plaque and celebrate it, but Okemos could have a chance at rematch.
Ooh.
The MHSA Volleyball District Finals, like we said, start tonight, and Holt has a bye week just like Hazlitt. But the Chiefs take on Parma Western tonight at 6 p.m. at Mason High School. And if Okemos wins, they will face the Rams again at the semifinals. The first match was a 3-0 sweep for the Rams. The second one, a 3-1. So, is third time the charm?
2 or 3, you never know.
Yeah. So we don't know yet, and it still depends on the results tonight. But it all could happen again, and it's a chance for a rematch. Definitely. And last week, Okemos Soccer followed Okemos Volleyball to Holt. But they didn't play Holt. Viva Maroon, as they call themselves on Twitter, had a big Chieftain crowd there as the Chiefs stepped on the field to take on East Kentwood at the regional semifinals. The Chiefs doing very well, and the momentum of winning the district title brought energy not only to the crowd, but the players. And an early East Kentwood goal, scored by Narcissus Sprecic in the 5th minute, wasn't going to blow out that fire. The Chiefs kept fighting. It was a short 4-minute window in that second half that gave it away. The second one comes from Adrian Diaz in the 45th minute to make it 2 for the Falcons, and followed by a 46-minute cross from Sprecic to Giovanni Garcia, who wastes no time lefting it high into the net. You can see the Chiefs goalkeeper Patrick Reston tried to slide there, but he couldn't make it in time. And to close out those 4 minutes, back on offense in the 48th, Diaz receives the pass with no Chieftain to stop him and fakes out Reston to put it on the left. 4 Falcons, 0 Chiefs.
When obviously the result was kind of not in question anymore, I was proud of the fact that the seniors on the bench were cheering the guys on. They were leading by example. And that's obviously something that we kind of talked about when we knew the result probably wasn't going to go our way. I give East Kentwood all the credit in the world.
Fighting until the last minute, Okemos' Andre Okzarzak boots one from the left, but it's too far for Talon Christensen's header, and it goes wide right. It's tough losing a final game like that when you're a senior. East Kentwood went on to win the regional final 3-2, though, against Traverse City West. So we know that Okemos did really well losing to the regional champion. Yeah. So it was they fought incredibly hard for that game. It was good to watch.
Yeah.
You know, the 0-4.
It's tough to see the season end like that for Okemos. They had a good team, but they did have their bumps in the road. You don't want to say you saw it coming because great players like Ben Meshke, Talon Christensen led this team much of the year.
And Coach Okemos talked about how the team had prepared for a situation like that way back when they lost to Hazlitt in a similar game, and they knew that they had to come back with adversity. They had to fight through every minute of the game, and they did. Didn't go their way, but they fought it, and that's a really good quality to have in a team.
Well, until next year for Okemos, always a solid team. Yeah. Friday, October 29th, kicked off the first round of high school playoffs for football. The East Lansing Trojans traveled across town to Dewitt to take on the Panthers. The Trojans and the Panthers held each other to only 7 points in the first half. Neither teams were able to convert on downs, and a variety of penalties on both sides of the ball seemed to be a recurring theme. Early into the fourth quarter, Dewitt pulled ahead of East Lansing, ending the game with a final score of 21-7. Panthers will take on Mason next Friday for the district finals.
Dewitt has been incredible. I have to say that.
Fantastic all year, class of the conference.
Definitely.
Coming up next, Michigan versus Michigan State. You know, it looked to be a blowout this year. Maybe not as good as in years past. You never know what's going to happen. Figure out what happened when we come back to All Access Sports.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
Welcome back, Meridian. And this past weekend, like we said, Michigan State and the University of Michigan met up in their annual rivalry football game. Now, the unranked Spartans fought for the chance to keep the Paul Bunyan Trophy against the #2 ranked Wolverines. But let's talk about some backstory to set up this game a little bit. The Spartans hadn't lost to the Wolverines at home since 2007, since D'Antonio arrived. But just this season, Michigan State has lost 5 games in a row so far, the last 4 in Big Ten play, putting them at 0-4 in the conference. Michigan headed into the rival game 8-0 in the season. And despite those differences, the Spartans pulled off a late game victory last year after Blake O'Neal fumbled a punt with 10 seconds left. Jalen Watt Jackson recovered that fumble and returned the ball 38 yards to win the game for the Spartans 27-23. But then again, that was the Michigan State that went on to make an appearance at the College Bowl playoffs. And so we never knew what could happen this year. And back to this year again, regardless of each team's individual statistics, it's always hard to predict the Michigan State game. No, you never know. You think it's going to be close, it's a blowout. You think it's going to be a blowout, it's close. So in Michigan State's last 4 or 5 losses, Spartans scored first, but then they ended up losing. So the Spartans continued that streak last Saturday. LG Scott having a huge game, finding the openings, got 6 with 7:58 left in the first. Geyer kicked the extra point to put Michigan State up 7-0. And if they were to win, MSU would have to maintain that lead, and even with strong efforts, it was tough to keep Michigan down. Jabril Peppers in the Wildcat on this one takes it 5 yards on the right to tie it at 7 with 4:30 in the first. And after a Spartan field goal, Michigan still up by 4. Wilton Spate throws for this incredible catch right here by Khalid Hill at the 1-yard line. And contrary to Michigan State, Michigan capitalizes from 1 and 2 yards. Those close plays fell in favor of the Wolverines, and they finished the half on top 27-10. Here's a crucial 4th and 1 opportunity where the Spartans could not get through, not even LJ Scott right here. And cut on to the game plan, playing more disciplined, Spartan Tyson Smith takes down Peppers on a fake, and Michigan State holds Wolverines to only 5 points in the entire second half. And back in the game here, O'Connor throws a 5-yard pass to Donnie Corley for a touchdown with 1 second left. Michigan State goes for 2. O'Connor fumbled the pitch, and it's picked up by Jabril Peppers. He takes it to the end of the stadium to give Michigan the 32-23 victory over the Spartans. Michigan takes the Paul Bunyan Trophy back to Ann Arbor. Something always happens in the last few seconds of this matchup between these two teams. Yep. The 2-point conversion was a decision that, being there, I saw many people question it. Did you? It was.
I know I did.
A lot of the crowd, like many people, were confused in what was happening. So at the post-game press conference, D'Antonio gave his reason for the last-second decision.
You know, I'm going to keep scratching for every inch and every point that we can possibly get. So when there's 1 second on the clock, we're going to go for 2, even if it's a mental game to kick the thing and lose by 6 points.
So what do you think of that call?
I think, that extra point, I mean, you get the extra point, you just do the normal call, you're down 6 points. I know he said they didn't really have a shot at the end, but hey, if you recover the onside kick, I don't think
Michigan State. Yeah.
Second doesn't go off. They get a shot at a Hail Mary possibly to win it. I don't understand why he just wanted that extra point in the
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
I agree.
But he says in that situation he'll always go for 2. I doubt it. I think
wanted the most points against Michigan.
Yeah, he just wanted to lose by 5 instead of 6, but why? You try to go for the win and don't get fancy,
Exactly. And I mean, I understand his reasoning for it. There is a point, want to get points. They have lost the last 5 games.
Yeah.
So you want to get points against a good team.
True.
But RJ Shelton didn't look ready for that. It seemed like the game plan wasn't there. And even if there was a game plan, there needs to be a plan B. Because he can't be caught off guard because things like that are going to happen.
Yeah.
So, but moving on from that, the fumble wasn't the only play that lost the Spartans the game. So here's what D'Antonio had to say on his usual wrap-up of the entire day.
Too many missed opportunities. As the game wore on, I thought we came out fast, scored on the first series, went down the field, ran the football effectively, something that we needed to do. Gain small victories as we move forward and get in the game. I thought we did that. But too many missed opportunities when you get right down to it.
And we have talked about Michigan State's quarterback situation, and it was no less complicated than the Michigan game.
No.
The Spartans played their 3 quarterbacks so far in the hunt to keep that Paul Bunyan Trophy. So Tyler O'Connor started and finished. Damian Terry and Brian Lewerke both came in and got some momentum going for the Spartans. So.
I mean, it's not a great situation simply because you don't have a guy that's sort of everybody can look at. But I thought they all did some good things today. I thought they all had some plays where they probably could have made a different decision. But we'll evaluate.
Michigan State's O-line, in my opinion, was able to protect the quarterbacks a bit better than in previous games, keeping Michigan to only 1 sack, seeing that the Wolverines had 26 sacks coming into this game. Yeah. So the Spartans' defensive line, though, continued to struggle to reach the opposing team's quarterback. In this case, Wilton Spate. Michigan's offensive line has kept Spate safe from danger, allowing only 11 sacks.
You try to fix it with what you have right now, and then you try to say, okay, what do we need to do to get it even better? And only way you can do that is going out and recruiting and things like that. And not to throw any of our guys under the bus, but it is what it is. We haven't gotten a great pass rush for whatever reason, be it coaching as well. The schemes and trying to get guys free.
Michigan State had one guy that had to prove himself this game. It's a guy that we talked about back in the first game, I think, right? 6th-year senior Ed Davis, who's been struggling to get back to peak performance, really had a breakthrough this past Saturday. Davis had 8 tackles and forced a loss of 2 yards for Michigan.
It looked like Ed was moving around pretty good today. He was excited to play in this game, obviously, being a young man from the Detroit area, and didn't get to play in it last year. So he was excited. It looked like, from the naked eye, without watching the film, it looked like he played fast and physical.
So all in all, in my opinion, this was Michigan State's best game so far. If they would have played like this the whole time, I feel like they would have about 2 losses right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think Lewerke definitely had his best game. He only had 10 attempts, but he looked good doing it.
But now they're going to struggle a little bit because Lewerke's out with a broken tibia.
Yeah, well, and you're not going to have him for the future, but in the past, didn't play nearly as well as that game.
No.
You look at the offensive line, though, and I think that's why he did play better. The offensive line looked motivated, inspired,
It was,
maybe learning to work together a little bit, play more as a whole.
and it's tough. You got to think about an O-line having to learn to play with 3 different quarterbacks. That's a tough thing to do because usually you get used to one guy.
Yeah,
how one guy
move
plays.
around a little differently. Each guy has
Definitely.
tendencies to go to different areas.
And you know, one guy signals, but then you switch around, and it gets confusing.
Definitely.
So I thought Michigan State's O-line did an incredible job against a number 2 ranked Michigan.
Yeah, I mean, coming into this game, I predicted Michigan State to lose 49-7. I didn't see them putting up 23
I
23
did think it
points.
was about. I thought it was going to be about. I was thinking about 35-7 game.
Okay.
Yeah.
So similar. I just think with Michigan, you don't know if they took their took their foot off the gas pedal at the end there because they did have a big lead. They were up 27-10 to close
Jabril
out
Peppers
the first
wasn't
half.
going to let that happen.
But you do like how
We saw it
State
from him.
came out early
Yes.
on with LJ Scott, just run right down the field.
Incredible
and that was
performance. 139 total yards with 22 carries.
what you'd think the game plan would have been for State all year long. You feed the ball to LJ Scott. He's the bell cow. He's the back. He's got speed. He's got strength.
Yeah.
He can do it all. Yeah, again.
And he's smart enough to know the openings, to find the openings in a game against a Michigan defense like we've seen.
And he always plays well in those big games. Great last year against Iowa. Won it for them in that last drive.
Yeah.
Against Ohio State last year, he was fantastic. They had to lean on him when O'Connor was the quarterback. Just, you look at him, he's still young, still a sophomore, and they got him another year next year. This game, 22 carries, 139 rushing yards, and a touchdown on the ground. By the way, 2 catches, 47 yards receiving. He's second in receiving right there. They didn't really have much going on in the passing game, and you wouldn't think so against Michigan's secondary. But on the ground, Michigan State does run for 217
definitely.
yards.
And if you compare here the numbers, none of Michigan's rushing players, rushing game, came close to LJ.
Yeah.
That Devion Smith had 11 carries for
He had that big early
38
run, but
total
couldn't
yards.
get much going after
Eddie
that.
McDoom had 53 total yards. So nothing compares to how LJ Scott played this game.
Yeah, and you leave the Michigan State defense. The reason why those running backs for Michigan didn't play as well, the linebackers, Riley Bulla, Ed Davis really stepped up, especially in the second half. Michigan
I think
only
that
scores,
was a
like you
great
said, 5
combination.
points.
Definitely.
2 of them coming
Bulla
off that
with Ed
2-point
Davis.
conversion.
Definitely.
The defense played really well in there.
But we have to talk about taking the opportunities with those 1 and 2 yarders that you have to get, like D'Antonio said.
So many close calls, a lot of penalties on Michigan State's side.
Definitely.
You get a few more of those to go your way. Hey, Michigan State had a chance to win that game.
If it wasn't for the penalties, I mean, MSU had 4 penalties inside when Michigan was inside Michigan State's 30-yard line. 3 in the first half, 1 in the second half, and Michigan capitalized from those. It was 2 touchdowns and 2 field goals. And when Michigan State got the interception, they couldn't capitalize from that one.
Yep, and here are a few final numbers just to cap this one to show how close it really was if a few of those things did go State's way. Third down efficiency, Michigan State 5 of 12 and Michigan 4 of 12. You've got total yards, 436 to 401. You've got rushing yards, 192 to 217. You know, time of possession, 30 minutes and 16 seconds to 29 minutes and 44 seconds. Literally dead even across. One
That's what I'm
turnover on
saying.
each
This is
side.
the Michigan State team from last year.
Yeah,
I
in a
Michigan
way.
has improved so much since last year, and I think
without the Connor Cook element, though, you can't.
exactly.
You don't have the same quarterback
And
play.
like we
not
said
even
before,
close.
the year after a great quarterback leaves, it's tough to find back the way. So that's why we're saying it's a building.
And
year
Michigan
for the
State's been
Spartans.
so used to finding those quarterbacks. This is just a down year in that search for a quarterback. But anyway, they play against Illinois this week. It's in Champaign.
Yeah. What's your
12
take on
o'clock. My take is Michigan State's favored by 10.
Okay.
Illinois, pretty darn bad. So
I win in conferences to Rutgers.
I'm going to pick State to win this week. For the first time in a while, I'm picking State to win. Let's go. They got to play inspired, though. They got to play with that same passion.
The same will, yes.
And it's hard to do that because it won't be that rivalry game. They're on the road.
Not the Spartan Nation behind them.
Yeah, let's say 28-17.
Okay.
Not a huge win, but they get it done.
It's not a blowout. Definitely not a blowout. And that's what I'm thinking as well, because Illinois comes in with 19 sacks to Michigan State's 7.
Yeah. Yeah, well, State's going to have to run the ball.
Definitely.
No doubt about
Use
it.
L.J. Scott. And this past week we saw Luberke pass with 2 huge passes to R.J. Shelton.
You got to get him involved.
O'Connor do the same, though, to R.J. Shelton? That's what I don't know.
Well, when you look at O'Connor's numbers each week, he's not really getting a lot of opportunities, and he's not throwing the ball downfield so much. He did against Northwestern, and he looked great doing it against that game. But obviously Northwestern not the best defense to face. Neither is Illinois, though. I think you can tear them up. We'll see. But
I'm gonna say, all right, yeah. Prediction. 35 Michigan State. I want to say anywhere in between 21 and 28 for Illinois. So 21. Let's say 35-24.
Main thing, a win for the Spartans. Look for it. Not only did the Spartans and Wolverines clash on the field, a weekend full of rivalry continued with this year's great divide. Michigan State versus University of Michigan fire departments. They compete to saw a car in half.
Yeah.
Saw that car. Michigan State's band, cheerleaders, and fans all gathered together to cheer on the Meridian Township Fire Department as they prepared to saw a car in half, representing MSU. The firefighters spent a lot of time prepping for the event to beat Michigan, even if that didn't actually happen on the field.
It's a great time. It's always a good time to have the competition between us and Ann Arbor, and so anytime that we can have some good friendly competitions, it's good. Plus, it gives the guys a chance to get their hands on the tools, so it's also some training.
And it took 3 blades to get through the car, finishing in a quick 1 minute and 54 seconds. MSU takes the win, as U of M was right behind with 3 minutes. That's a pretty big win there for Michigan State. You gotta
love
love
that.
that.
Win on the field, won in the fire.
Win in the saw carring competition.
Yeah, pretty strong, pretty strong.
I think State will take it.
Yeah.
Take what they can get. Take what they can get right now, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the fire departments have competed in this event for over 10 years. Say they always enjoy some friendly competition.
And we enjoy watching.
I think there's a strong rivalry, though. I think there's a lot of bad blood there.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe not.
No,
But anyway, now.
One of my favorite times?
One of my favorite times. It's time for Be the Referee, okay?
All right.
What is it about this week? We're talking extra points. Let's hear it, Mark.
Welcome to Be the Referee with MHSAA Assistant Director Mark Ewell.
For many years at the pro and college levels of football, the PAT, or the extra point kick, really became a ho-hum play. Last year in the NFL, they tried to make the play more exciting by moving the kicker's back, making it almost the distance of a medium-range field goal. Under college rules, they allow the other team, the defense, whenever they get the ball, to try and return it all the way to the other end with the ability to score 2 points. The next high school game you're at, know this, that once the defensive team gets possession of the ball on an extra point or try for point, the try is over and the defense cannot score any points.
Thanks, Mark. You can be a referee. Go online now to MHSAA.com to register. Thanks for listening. I'm John Johnson.
Now that run back there by Pepper is technically off a 2-point conversion, not an extra point, but work with us, Meridian, please.
Still an incredible.
Hard to get footage of an extra point taken back. But yeah, I think that illustrates the point.
But now, your last time hearing this, so this week's Player of the Week, we're going to make it a bit different for you last time.
Okay, that's
Instead
fine.
of player, we're highlighting a team that we think has fought through the odds and come out successful. They're just getting started with postseason. Drum roll, Chris. This week's high school team of the week is the Okemos volleyball team. So after losing 3 seniors, 2 who went on to play D1 volleyball, the Chieftain girls managed to make it to the CAAC Blue Final against Holt, where they forced Holt to lose their first set in conference play, like we said earlier. And not only that, but look at the celebration when they make that happen. they're just incredible. You'll see here in a little bit, this team is fun. Each girl takes responsibility for the mistakes they make, but always with a smile. They know they have the rest of the team to back them up, and they build each other up instead of letting mistakes get the best of them. That's what made them be right up there with Holt in every single set. Every set was down to the last point. Hard work pays off, and they know what they have to do in the potential rematch if they win tonight. So here's to you girls. Congrats on being a fun, united, and talented team.
Very good. Congratulations there. Also, I realize this. Last be the referee. Last player of the week. Just.
How do you feel?
I want to name a few people. Connor George. Okemos great Connor George. Remember all those times he won player of the week? Taryn McCutcheon. The leader of All Access Sports Player of the Week. She had 3.
Future leader in Michigan State women's basketball.
Fantastic there. Connor George on the men's team.
Yeah.
Got fantastic roots coming out of Okemos, East Lansing there. Just so much to remember, so much to reflect on. I just had a moment there when you were talking Player of the Week, player team.
Shed a tear.
I like that we end it with a team.
Yeah.
All about team. There's no I in team, just a me.
Exactly. If one person does well, it's because of the team. So.
Agreed on that. We've got a few upcoming games. Last time we're doing this for you as well.
Yeah.
So this week, Holt Volleyball plays, we said earlier, the winner of Okemos and Parma Western. That would be Thursday, 5:30 p.m. at Mason. And then Hazlitt Volleyball versus Williamston/Lansing Eastern. You don't know who they're going to play yet. Thursday, November 3rd, 5:30 p.m. at Hazlitt. MSU Basketball versus Saginaw Valley State. That's Wednesday, November 2nd, 7 p.m. at East Lansing, getting ready for the regular season there.
For those freshmen.
And then you go back to football. Season's not over yet. They play against Illinois this Saturday, 12 p.m. at Illinois.
And like we said, those 2 matchups that are a toss-up for volleyball, they play tonight. So keep an eye out for that, and you'll know who.
Oh, okay. Not Thursday?
Well, those are Thursday,
Okay.
but the toss-ups are tonight.
Got it. Good job clearing that up. My last episode, Maya. Is this your last episode? We still don't know for sure.
We don't know. But
Okay, but I am definitely gone.
we're not done yet. Chris, we want to thank you
Thank
and honor you for 75 great episodes of All Access.
Thank you very much. I
And
appreciate that.
congratulate you on going to Fort Wayne, Indiana. We're so
Thank you.
excited. Here are some pictures, people you started with, of your journey to
Oh, and there I am.
HOMTV. Yeah.
Wow, look at my hands.
Yeah.
Wow, what a picture
Some
there.
Great pictures right there, right? Look at that.
Oh, this is, I didn't know, honestly, Meridian, I didn't know that, wow, now that's a wide picture.
Yeah, this is your journey.
Man, these pictures really turned out well. I don't know. What we're seeing right now are some pretty.
How do you feel going into this next step? It's awesome. It's incredible.
Well, first hearing about it, very emotional. Obviously, I've been here for 2.5 years. I'm starting a whole new life. That's the way I look at it. But I definitely grew up a lot here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take what I learned here, know who I am as a person, and see if that translates into success in the next chapter of my life. I think it will. I think this place trains people the right way.
Definitely.
And I feel good about it.
What's
I'm
your
excited.
favorite part about Home TV? Gotta ask as you're leaving.
It's the people. It's definitely the people. There's a lot of youth here. There's a lot of energy. Everyone's learning. Everyone's doing things together, just, trying to get to a similar end goal. Everyone wants that job, that next part in their career.
That's you getting your job right there.
Yeah, well, there you go. Oh, wow, that's a party picture there.
Throwbacks.
Yeah, wow, there's a lot of stuff here. But, yeah, it's just going through the same process together with people who want to, succeed in life like you do.
So some last words for Meridian?
I mean, that's all for this edition of All Access Sports.
That is great.
And remember, Meridian, Maya takes care of this now.
No, all you.
Don't forget to follow us online part. Please, just because we might be gone, please remember, and for the listeners out there, the watchers out there who've been with us since the beginning, they know. Don't forget, like an elephant, don't forget, because elephants never forget. Elephants never forget. Follow us online, HOMTV.net, Facebook, and Twitter. It's the triple threat right there.
Chris, thanks for everything in All Access.
Beautiful. Well, let's do a hug. Fantastic.
All right, well.
All right, I think that's it.
We'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time, I guess.